Howdy, Outcasts! Hope you've been enjoying the show. As Season 2 creeps to a close, we are launching a fundraising campaign for our third and final season. For a trio to reach the end of their quest, we're hoping to raise $5,000. Visit igg.me/at/Radio Outcast Season 3 to check out our goals, rewards, and a video detailing our vision for the final season.
Your contributions help fund the show's production. This includes high-quality sound design, excellent performances, and help behind the scenes. Backers will receive exclusive rewards such as phone wallpapers, custom merchandise, or even the first pages of Season 3 before airing.
We have several exciting stretch goals. If we reach that $5,000 goal, we will release a book containing extra story content and a peek behind the curtain for our top donors. If we raise $6,000, we will produce bonus episodes as voted on by fans.
On the weekend of each remaining episode's release, we will be streaming on Twitch to promote this very fundraiser. Follow us on social media for updates on the fundraiser and on Season 2 and 3.
Season 2 was only possible thanks to the contributions made on Indiegogo and Patreon. Your support is the reason Radio Outcast continues to exist, a responsibility we do not take lightly. Visit igg.me/at/Radio Outcast Season 3 today. The 3 is a number 3, not spelled out. Everything else is spelled out. Get ready for an unforgettable ending and for even more strange fun in the West.
Radio Outcast is a surreal, gunslinging podcast for mature audiences. Content warning. This episode contains depictions of coughing that could trigger misophonia, terminal illness, mentions of death throughout the episode, and mentions of opioids near the end of the episode, which may be upsetting for some listeners. We encourage our listeners to prioritize their safety before venturing ahead. Thank you.
Every person I've ever known, every god I've ever known, they've all walked out on me, abandoned me. Physically or symbolically, I guess I should be used to it, Mom. My sisters watched Spectra torment me for years. The gods all watched as Emmy cast me down to earth, punishing me for what, exactly? Not loving her enough? Not obeying her every single command? And then there was Dre. He left too, but in a different way. And it wasn't Dre's fault, it was me. And that's what happens to humans when a god falls in love with them, or at least that's what Emmy said. So, yeah, maybe I overreacted. Jesse was back in Abilene for the first time in a long time, and home can have a weird effect on people. Home. What is home to me? The heavens are home, I guess. I mean, I never wanted to say it, Mom. I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but heaven on earth? That's New York City. That life is so far away. Just a distant memory.
Helix, I'm trying to apologize.
You wanted him dead, and now your wish has been granted.
That ain't Now that ain't fair. You know that.
You know what isn't fair, Jesse Rogers? You said you had my back. You promised, remember? I ain't offering to suffer or to save you. What happened to that guy, huh? What happened to till this whole journey is over? What happened?
I screwed up. I know.
Not fair is this. You leaving. Me knowing you meant it. Charles dying. The world is hell, but I thought I had you two at least. Just 3 jerks tied together and make the most of it until this whole journey ends. But till then, all I can do is put what little fucking faith I have into you and Charles, who's currently dying on this horse he and I are sharing. You two are all I have. And you know what? We're all that he has too.
He's coughing blood.
Yeah, I know. If you hadn't run off, maybe you would have noticed.
There was someone I needed to see.
I tried to heal him with my new power, but it wouldn't work.
Shit.
It's just a solve. I'm not the god of healing or whatever the fuck, and it can only do a limited heal. It means he's really sick.
What about your, what about Coda?
They're just a familiar. Is there a hospital anywhere nearby?
I don't know. The Abilene I know is gone. It's hard to... Should be 20 miles. Keep following this here creek. Tell you the truth, don't give 3 shits by Abilene, Kansas. What that town had was Jacob and Abigail Rogers. And both of them are gone now. Otherwise, ain't much romance to that cow town. Didn't spend my days like other boys, the white boys, playing and chasing the last of the bison. Me and Pa at work, doing our own thing, walking across the whole West. Abilene was a depot, a rest stop, with Ma home, keeping the skiff afloat. Then there's Bill and Marion, his wife. They were from the north, unlike my parents and folks like Ern who came from the south after the war. They'd been in Abilene a while before the wave of cowboys came rushing in. They were part of the Rogers family at this point, all the help they'd been. Got someone who can take a look at Osgood.
A doctor?
Midwife. Friend of the family.
Midwife? No disrespect, Jesse, but this thing Charles has isn't...
My ma had something of the lungs, too.
Your mom?
She lived a good life, things considered. But I can tell you, seeing my ma... Marion and Bill might know what this is. Charles and her. Could be the same thing going on.
I'm sorry. I didn't know about your mom.
Yeah, well... Me neither. We ought to turn east at the bend here. Abilene should be
Wait.
good.
Wait, is that... Oh my God.
Earlier when I was alone headed toward my house after I stormed off, thought I saw Abilene had grown taller. Thought the buildings had stretched up, became some sort of trade city. Then wasn't nothing but the same old Abilene. Cowtown, Prairie Town, Sleepy Town. Till I rode out, and again now, 10 miles out in the distance, the buildings grew taller than any buildings I'd ever seen before. And the lights.
Jesse, that's Times Square. Of all the fucking places in New York City, of all the random shit this garbled human world decides to invite from the future, Times Square? Not like Pelham Bay Park or Coney Island or something?
Yeah, that ain't Abilene. Not anymore, at least.
Yeah, it's Manhattan. You've got to be kidding me.
Manhattan? No, that's a town northeast. 40-something miles.
That must be a different one, because this is my Manhattan. Fucking Emmy. Come on, let's go. Maybe we can find something for Charles. If this is messed up for me, I can't imagine how you feel right now.
It's fine. We need to find Bill and Marion.
Charles was leaned against my back, his chest rattling like marbles were inside of him. It was weird, not hearing him ramble on and on. It didn't feel right, like everything was collapsing. I couldn't help but feel responsible for this whole jumbled world.
Get on the phone, idiots!
A taxi. A car. A vehicle. Transportation?
I know what a vehicle is. What was that noise?
It was a horn. You were in their way. Just follow me, Jesse. The unnamed dirt road had turned into 7th Avenue. One moment, it was us three and our 2 horses. Then there were taxis, suddenly sidewalks, people hustling in power suits straight out of 1987. It was like the intersection of 7th Avenue, Broadway, and 42nd Street had been plucked out and dropped down. And then the rest was just Kansas. We rode down the middle of the road, weaving between the yellow taxis, onward into fucking Times Square. Okay, so that's the Paramount building. It used to have this badass theater, but then television came along, and then... never mind, it's just too much to... Oh, God, look, a Beastie Boys billboard. How do I explain those guys? Okay, it's like 3 white dudes and... Oh my God, a Sony sign. Charles, look, it's just like the TPS you had. And then the...
Ern's hardware store.
The what? Oh. Is that from, your Abilene?
Yeah.
Well, it sticks out in the middle of fucking New York City.
Seemed the town popped up in the city, here and there. Between a big gray building and another. Ern's squat little wooden hardware store. Same easy chairs out front. Rooster painted on the sign. Yeah. I know that bastard store from a mile away. What's more, said bastard would be the first familiar face in New Abilene. Just needed to stomach him for some directions, was all. Stay with Osgood.
Wait, where are you going?
Getting pointers for this shithole we're in. I'll be back. Things were getting sharp between me and Barefoot. Could feel it. Me walking away that morning, Osgood dying on us. And now our city's swallowing up Abilene. I needed to rise. Take a step to fixing the broken things between us. She was angry. Me too. Just different now. Figured stepping away a minute could give us both some air. Well. As it fucking turns out, an old face didn't make things any less sharp. Ernest.
If it ain't Jesse Gone West Rogers, Mr. Big Man himself. Now tell me, Jesse, did you find gold? Did you find the Ark of the Covenant? That cracked me up sometimes.
Oh, Christ, are you finished?
You know what they say about you, boy? They say Jesse Rogers, shit, ain't that the son of Jacob? They say, well, he was till he went off and became a Yankee. A Yankee, Jesse. I forgot all about us down here in poor old Abilene. Now he went off and left his own mama.
You say another fucking word, I'll cut that fucking tongue out. Don't you fucking test me.
That's what I wanted to see. Little Abilene's still in you, boy. Now what you here for, Rogers? You still on about that debt?
Need you to tell me what the hell's going on here. New Abilene?
Like I said, boy, you been gone. Things change. Shit, one day Abilene turned on its head. Can't recall when. Shit, must have been some months ago. Now, here we are.
Here we are. And Bill?
Bill? Oh, you mean Bill Willard? Shit! I don't know about Bill.
Ain't no way. Bill died?
No. But you gonna wish you did.
Oh, don't you fucking dare.
Now go on. Be my guest, Rogers. Just don't say I didn't warn you.
Charles was starting to go white. Well, whiter than usual. Like powder white. And his eyelids had sort of a purplish tint. While waiting for Jesse, some passerby stopped to stare at the horse, kids waving at me like I was some sort of street performer. Hey! Well?
Marriott.
Huh?
Marriott Hotel? That's where we'll find Bill.
At first, I thought it was some Abilene thing. But the way Jesse stared at me, waiting for me to say something, I thought on it a little bit. Marriott? The Marriott Marquis? Is that where your friend is?
So, you know it, or?
We need to hurry. I'll lead. We crossed between the taxis and the crowds. At a stoplight, I had to stop Jesse before he rode straight into New York traffic. Seemed he had no idea how modern traffic works, or, future traffic, I guess. But he wouldn't even meet my eyes. Not angry like before, but not there. Or barely there, should I say. It's right up here. The one that looks like the letter H. Jesse didn't respond. He just stared at the hotel building like it was a castle of his enemy. His jaw clenched. We walked beneath the hotel canopy, climbed off our horses, and each took Charles by one of his arms. Still, Jesse was silent. And Charles only seemed conscious enough to flutter his eyes half opened, like a drunk, with his head and shoulders hung low. Is this how heavy I was to carry?
You're taller, but he's denser.
Jesse looked like he put on the wrong shoes, or like his hat was a little too tight. For a moment, it looked like he was going to say something about the hotel's automatic sliders, but instead, he adjusted his grip and kneeled to pick Charles up on his back.
Won't drop him downstairs or anything. Don't worry.
Do you know what floor he's on? Bill? Or whoever?
Not a damn clue.
Okay. I'll go ask the front desk. What's his last name?
Willard.
The front desk guy seemed to know this Bill Willard without even looking at his logs. He just said, "Are you an associate?" "No." "Are you expected?" "Well, no." "Would Mr. Willard be surprised by you?" "Yeah, well, whatever." I told the guy his son was coming to visit him. I mean, Jesse said Bill was like a father figure, right?
Didn't make no sense. Yeah, well, ain't shit made sense since Helix showed up. There I was. Another elevator. Last time, we were in Salt Lake, descending to some cave where Charles near got stabbed by some lunatic. Now in Abilene, New Abilene, another invasion from Helix's future. Now there I was, all that time blaming Charles for this and that, but in that elevator, with that man dying against my shoulder, well, it came clear. We were both in it. Helix's mess, her and her gods.
This is it. 49th floor. Jesse?
Let me do the talking, okay? These are my people. Old Town might be upside down, but these are my people. So I'll do the talking.
All right.
Look, I didn't mean it like... Let's go. Walked down the hall, towing Charles. Was only a few doors, each with gold plates above the peepholes. Got to one with the Willards, etched all fancy with the curls.
I guess this is it.
Who's that?
It's me, Marion.
Sorry. Were you scheduled? Bill meets in the conference room.
Jesse Rogers? Jacob's kid?
Jesse?
It's been many years.
She was talking funny. Matter of fact, she was talking like Osgood. Oh, that sort of air of better than. Not the Marion I knew. Not the Marion who could shoot, gut, and cook a hog all in one afternoon, then spit seeds with me and Bill and Pa. No, not her too. My friend here, you need some help?
Well, does it spread?
No, don't think so.
Is that the towel boy, Marion?
Sweetheart, come here.
Sweetheart? Marion and Bill weren't the sort for little nicknames, not back in the day. Seems all sorts of things changed.
Yes, can I... Well, if that isn't one familiar face.
It's the side of Bill that did it. His big beard, shaved down with a thin mustache, dressed up like a dandy. Black suit and tie, no boots on, just a pair of shiny black pointed shoes. Hair kept short. The man looked expensive, but it wasn't the Bill I'd known.
Say something.
Bill.
Regarding Abigail, my condolences, Jesse. She was one of the...
God. This was a mistake. Thought about running. Wasn't about to hash out what had happened right now. Especially not when Bill didn't look, when he wasn't. Thought about just leaving. Looked over at Helix waiting though, and knew leaving wasn't in the cards. Wasn't what I wanted.
Hi, Bill, Marion. I'm sorry, but our friend here needs serious help. He has something wrong with his lungs.
Wouldn't leave. Even if that weren't the same Bill from my boyhood, I wouldn't do him the disrespect. 'Cause maybe he won't honor himself. The least I could do is honor his shadow.
take a seat on the Chesterfield. I'll fetch something.
Chesterfield is a damn sofa.
Stop. Bill, it's very nice to meet you.
Likewise. I do hope you found our hotel sufficient thus far.
Our
hotel?
Well, yes. It's been some time, Jesse. It must be some surprise, me and Marion entering the property game. Well, you know us Willards. Once we set our mind on something, we fully...
What about Junior?
What about him?
Where is he? I know he wouldn't put up with all
Jesse.
this.
Back in my midwifery days, this served a very useful tool for women in pain. Had to be careful with it. It's quite addictive.
What is that?
So y'all got rich and became opium eaters?
I beg your...
Stop it.
Beg.
If it's a problem, I can simply take it.
Did you give that shit to my mom?
She was in pain, Jesse. Extreme pain.
It won't heal him, but the opium can last him until you get him some proper help. I wouldn't offer it if I thought it was dangerous.
You saw Jesse's mom? If I can ask, what was it?
It's a swelling in the lungs. Must be for him, too. It can come from all sorts of things. The doctors at Mount Sinai said Abigail had...
Mount Sinai? Like the hospital in New York?
Well, I don't know about New York, but that's a ways. But in New Abilene, if you go up to 42nd, you can take the one train to...
I know how to get there.
If it'll help, give him the drug. Not too much, though.
Of course, Jesse.
Oh, and if you catch sight of Junior, tell him to come home. His mother and father miss him so dearly. Would you do that, Jesse?
Can't imagine why he'd run.
Radio Outcast was created by Fernanda Vidaurrazaga and JT Lachausse, starring Jay Duong as Helix, Ivory Amor de Francisca as Jesse Rogers, Daniel A. Stevens as Charles Osgood and Ern, Griffin Otto Deniger as Bill Sr., and Brandi Robinson as Marion. This episode was written by JT, directed by Fernanda, with support from our assistant director Sebastian Sotelo, produced by Eloise Bernier and Kevin Chiet. Dialogue editing by Miles Crenwelge, sound design by Dorsey, with music by Samuel Kinsella. Love what you hear? Your reviews on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, and Good Pods keep driving us forward and help us reach even more ears. Don't know what to say? Well then, rate the show wherever you're listening to spread the love. Want more Radio Outcast? Dive deeper by visiting radiooutcast.com and join the community on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and our Discord server, all links in the show notes. You can now snag yourself exclusive stickers and the full Season 1 score from our shop. If you'd like to help us continue to grow and would like a backstage pass into the creation of Radio Outcast, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/radio_outcast. Unlock behind-the-scenes secrets, original scripts, bonus content, and more, like wanted posters from the Sam Vogel Gang or tickets to the Starlight Leisure and its one-of-a-kind show featuring the Alderman. For as little as $1 a month, you can join the Coda tier and get a special shout-out at the end of each episode, like
Alan L., a fan of the contrast and art of New Abilene. Miss Talia W., that fabulous dancer who enjoyed dance halls and now the clubs in New Abilene. Patricia D., who first heard of the changes in her friend's city while trading illicit goods. It is said that Marion has commissioned Lizbeth S. for her spectacular treats for a party. Turned away by the liveliness of New Abilene, Val V said the gambling was better west. Currently planning a trip to New Abilene, Susan S. Fearless Lila, who has not returned to Kansas since touring the state defeating multitudes at arm wrestling. Chelsea S., who's compared the death bird's cry to a train's whistle. Bunny Hop, who has visited New Abilene and enjoyed the brand new social circle at the Mud Club. Paul R. was spotted in Ern's hardware store picking up canned beans on his journey south. And Crystal S., who's new to town but loving the otherworldly nature of the city.
To all of our patrons, thanks again. Your support means the world. And to everyone listening, safe travels.